Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look over at Rose, and just before we do, we'll peek at Bitcoin as well to kind of see what's going on. Really just pretty much holding steady around 59.5. We need to break the key level resistance at 60,000. You can see it tried one time here today to do that. Hasn't broke yet. That's an important factor. So if we can get the one-day candle to close over just say 60,000, I think we'll be in much better shape. Still waiting to see what happens Monday or Tuesday with the market based on the bears and or just say the whales being back in business. We'll see what happens. We could see a bit of a sell-off based on the fact that we've had a good increase over the weekend here, but we still haven't broke the recent high, right? Like in other words, it tried to come up here about 61,000 and break, couldn't do it. So anyways, bottom line, Bitcoin's not in bad shape, but we want to wait a little bit longer before we add to our positions and start taking long positions based on the fact that we don't know what's going to happen this week just yet. It's the only reason I'm holding off on my day trading through Cornix, but all swing trades are still in good shape, right? Because we have loose and or no stop losses there. Regardless, let's go ahead and move on to Rose. And just before we look at this, we're looking at this again, right? We looked at it yesterday, kind of take another look at it. It's one of those fast moving coins. I get a lot of requests for it, so I want to make sure we cover it. And if you're new to the channel, just bear this in mind. I'm not a financial advisor, but I really love helping people become better traders. So my goal for this channel, for my trading community, is to effectively allow that to happen, to facilitate a learning environment. So hopefully you can learn as much as you can here today. If not, that's okay. Maybe you need more of an immersive experience. I've got basically a trading channel where you can kind of join up there and join like-minded individuals and learn and grow together. I share signals for every single trade that I take too, so you can get a feel for what my trades look like, and you can start structuring yours like that as well, because I do average about 85% success rate. So taking a look here at Rose. So what we want to do is look at the one-day chart first and work our way down. We're well above moving averages. Those are non-existent. At this point, won't really matter for a little while. RSI is back up over 70. It was peaking 70 yesterday, and here it is full-blown making its way up to about 80. So that's not terrible. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but just bear in mind that it's a bit on the overextended side, and that definitely has something to do with the fact that the price may turn around. But we're at a 5 on TD sequential, so we're looking to be in good shape. We hypothetically have 7 to 10 days worth of bullish momentum left in the tank in that regard. That isn't foolproof. I prefer TD sequential on shorter time frames, but we'll look at that as well here in the 4-hour. But we're above both moving averages on the 4-hour, which is great. We're up over 70 on the RSI, and my common theme is when you're considering taking profits, wait for the RSI to come back below 70. It came down and bounced off of 70, reaffirming that as a support level. So in that sense, hold your position, hold strong until we see the price come back down below 70, right? That is kind of what we want to look for. So all good things here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look though at TD sequential. And this concerns me a little bit. In other words, we've had 9 4-hour candlesticks worth of bullish momentum in the last couple of days of trading. So that's all well and good, but we're nearing the top here, and we should expect to see the price go sideways or retrace. One of two things should happen. Now, granted, there is still potential for the price to continue upwards. That does happen. But considering the fact that we're getting really close to the upper Fibonacci retracement level of about 49.9? We can just say 50 cents. Then I would expect the price to reject or retrace soon. It might even be on its way back down right now and kind of resting around 44 cents, which is the next major Fibonacci retracement level, but we don't know just yet. It's kind of early to tell. So simply put, 4-hour chart looks good, minus the fact that we're a bit on the overextended side, and I think we should see a pullback soon. It may not be a significant pullback. It could come down to the most recent one. I think this is the all-time high, right? Yeah, so the most recent all-time high, which is roughly 36.4 cents, I would say that's a key level support for Rose at this moment, based on the fact that you can see the price jumped above and tested it and continued to stay above, right? So for 12 hours straight, that was a key level support, and it was reaffirming itself as a support level moving forward. So 36.4, if you're going to add to your position and the price comes down that low, that'd be a great place to consider that, okay? We have a nice little support channel between 36.4 and about, just say, 39 even. So all in all, looking really good here for Rose. Just bear in mind, a bit on the overextended side. Let's look at the 1 hour, see what we can find here. We're going to be well above the cloud, but we'll just want to identify, make sure we got our baseline lower than our conversion line. That's awesome. And our lagging span is kind of hanging out over here. So according to TD sequential, it basically just tells us we want to hold our position open for a longer period of time. It's still safe to consider keeping your position open at this point, right? Once we see this lagging span come closer to the price action, then that's a case in point where we want to consider selling. That's going to be a long ways away. I think what we'll see sooner is for this baseline to converge, potentially just say to converge soon, much sooner than later. And if that were to happen, essentially it looks like a bearish divergence, right? Where the 12 intersects with the 26 in a downward fashion. That's what we might see here. If that does occur, then we could see a push to the downside, and effectively you want to consider closing your position. But right now, we don't have any reason to essentially trim our positions or sell them, except for the fact that it is overextended and we might see retracement. But Ishimoku Cloud is telling us that we're still in good shape to continue to hold our position until that conversion line intersects with the baseline. Okay? So all good things there in that sense. So basically telling us we're in good shape. Another good thing here too, and the reason why that's probably the case is due to the simple fact that we had a nice consolidated period here in the last 6 hours. So according to TD sequential, right, we hit a 9, normal. We hit 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of overtime, and it continued to consolidate and retrace. Came down a bounce off of the support level at 36 cents, right? That's exactly what I was referring to earlier. And when you get the price to bounce off of a support level, it goes up much higher. In fact, I believe I mentioned that yesterday. When we get the price to break above the resistance level and it were to come back and bounce, that's a case in point where you want to add to your position. So I hope you're able to get in around 36 cents at that point. But if not, I'm confident the price may either come back down or we can continue to add to our position moving forward. I would hold off on a moment, let it kind of chill out for a little bit. But according to the TD sequential right now, we could have another 6 to 8 hours, 6 to 12 hours left of bullish momentum to the upside. I'd prefer for it to consolidate first before it tries that, but that is essentially where we're at. And what we'll do is we'll look at Rose again either later today or tomorrow to identify new Fibonacci retracement levels, because it is getting close to that max point at 50 cents. And why don't we go ahead and look at the prediction here and call it a day. So if we look at this, obviously roughly November 15th. So let's just say 7 days ago, the price was down here at about 20 cents. Since then, we've seen a significant increase from bottom to top, 136% in 7 trading days. It's an awesome amount of growth, but that's a nice, healthy continuation, right? Minus the last 24 hours, of course, we've seen it kind of have a healthy pattern, right? Which is a staircase pattern. That's the up, over, up, over. Therefore, at this point, we should expect the price to probably go sideways. I would venture to guess at this point it needs to go sideways or consolidate to be able to get that extra leg up. But simply put, I would say 50 cents is a very strong likelihood in the next either just say 24, 48, even just say the full week, depending on how it performs. So month end for sure, 50 cents. What we'll do is I'll look at it again tomorrow. We'll reevaluate Fibonacci retracement lines based on the more recent relevant data instead of kind of the slightly dated data, and see what the new potential is at that point. But for right now, I would say 50 cents is a likelihood, but I wouldn't expect it to happen right now or today, even though it very well could happen. We don't want it to happen, if that makes sense. So if you see the price jump up to 50, heck, why not? Set one of your profit targets at 50 cents, see what happens. If you get filled, great. If not, all good, right? Because it'll eventually likely fill based on its momentum. But I would say that we should expect some type of consolidation, because we look at the 4-hour chart here, you can see that we're at a 9 in TD sequential. It shouldn't go much higher, even though we have healthy continuation patterns here. We're probably well outside those standard deviation lines right now, and it needs to contract and come back to level, right? So the volume weight average price is telling us right now that we are on the overextended side, and it's safe to presume the price would come down soon. Just bear in mind, 36 cents is a really strong support level. So if you can get a position closer to that, awesome. Maybe set a buy limit at about 37, 38 cents, somewhere in that range, and add to your position, dollar cost average over the next few days until it levels out and we ramp up again. Okay, I hope that helped you and you find benefit from today's video. If so, great. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Join my Patreon community. Check that out if you want to become a better trader. I share every single trade that I take as a signal through Cornix, so you can one-click follow. Amazing situation. So check that out in your own time. Looking forward to getting to know you better, but if not, thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing the next one. We'll see you again soon, likely tomorrow. Thank you.